It's the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Sure bet coffee.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Pick 5 Player Show. I'm your host, Michael Pellerin, a.k.a. Horse Guy Mike. And today we're going to be talking about the all Grade 1 Pick 5 sequence this Saturday at Saratoga. Yes, that's right. The Belmont Stakes Racing Festival is happening at Saratoga this year due to the renovations at Belmont. We're really excited to be up at Saratoga early. Always love the Belmont Festival. Great days of racing, both Thursday, even Friday, and all day Saturday. All Grade 1 Pick 5 sequence. It's a fantastic day. We're going to be going ahead looking at all 5 races, capping off with race number 12, the Belmont Stakes, third leg of the Triple Crown. And this week we're sponsored by Sherbet Coffee. Once again, make sure to use promo code TTP20 for 20% off that Sherbet Coffee. And with that coffee, with the energy we're getting from that coffee, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the first leg of our Pick 5 sequence. Go ahead and starting in leg number 1, race 8, the Grade 1 Woody Stevens going 7 furlongs on the dirt for 3-year-olds. A lot of horses here. We're seeing a lot of these Derby hopefuls, Triple Crown hopefuls, cutting back in distance, making their claims as elite sprinters. Love seeing it every single year. You know, we have all these horses trying to be these Triple Crown style horses, finally getting back to what they're good at. They've given up on that dream, that hope. We're seeing a lot of good horses who are able to perform at this shorter distance. I'm fading a couple of the ones that people are going to be keying in on. The only one of the superstars, I would say, in this race that I actually like is the number 9 Nash, who even here 6-1. Surprising morning line there for Nash. I think it's just because it's a fairly deep field, and you will see a favoritism going on another one of these horses here. But I really liked Nash's Pat Day Mile. Got second behind a horse, maybe you've heard of him, Seize the Gray, who was running later on Saturday in the Belmont, won the Preakness, won the Pat Day Mile. Nash, nothing to be ashamed of in that second place finish. Cutting back a little bit in distance. Might enjoy the 7 furlongs a little bit more. Speed figures are middling, nothing too crazy to write home about, but I do like him going shorter. He, has performed well at Churchill, at Fairgrounds, at Oaklawn. 6-1, I think, is fair. He's my top choice here, but I liked some longer shots as well. So I'm going to talk about those. The one horse I do want to talk about, or the two that I did not include, are the 2 favorites. And that's the number 7, Prince of Monaco, and the number 1 horse, Bookham Dano. Now, Prince of Monaco was my Breeders' Cup juvenile horse last year. I had high hopes for this horse. Didn't fire in that race at all. I mean, he's still got a nice speed figure, but everyone in that race got a nice speed figure. But then has had a long layoff since then. Baffert's choosing to debut him here. Did not try any of the Triple Crown prep races, has not even run him in an allowance yet. Kind of an ambitious spot to debut in a Grade 1 on a huge day for a horse like this. I love the confidence. I don't love just throwing him into deep waters after this long of a layoff. He's going to take a lot of money being his speed figures, his pedigree. Baffert, complete toss for me. He might win, but no way I'm going to put any money on him this day. The other horse I'm going to be tossing is the other favorite, the number 1 horse, Bookham Dano, who's coming back from the Saudi Arabia where he ran on that Saudi Cup day in the Saudi Derby. He got second behind Forever Young. Forever Young is a very good horse. Bookham Dano getting second. Nothing to be ashamed of. Cutting back in distance, back to 7 furlongs. He did win a 7 furlong nice little race at Tampa earlier this year. So getting back to that 7 furlongs, I think he's going to really appreciate it. I don't like the long layoff. I don't like coming back from Saudi Arabia. I don't think horses ever really do well off that shipping. It's been a long time. I'm going to let him, again, beat me this race. I don't have trust in there. I'm going to try to find a price here to kick off the leg. So I went a little bit deep. Starting off with the number 2 horse, Barksdale, Tyler Gaffleone, William Walden. Horse got a 95 Brisnet last out in an allowance race, winning by 4 lengths, going 6.5 in Aqueduct. Before that, raced at Keeneland at 7 furlongs, won that race as well. This horse is 20-1, getting Tyler Gaffalione on board. I don't understand the 20-1. There's got to be something behind the scenes that I'm not getting. So I think he's got a good shot here. The next horse out, number 3 horse, Imagination by Bob Baffert, who's 10-1 on the morning line. I really wanted to bet this horse in the Preakness. I thought he was going to get the exact same trip that Seize the Grey got, where he was just going to get out front, go to the lead, and then just go kind of gate to wire. He didn't end up doing that, and he got beaten pretty badly that day. So I think the cutback in distance is going to help him out here. I don't like the short turnaround, but again, Baffert's got some confidence here. He's entering both Imagination and Prince of Monaco, so we'll see. I'm going to include him at the odds. I think he'll even float up even higher just because were not impressed by that performance there. So including Imagination. And then the number 4 horse, Valentine Candy, another 6-1 choice here. Coming off, again, an impressive win at Oaklawn in the Bachelor Stakes, 6 furlongs. This horse has done well in sprints, and something that we haven't seen from a lot of these horses is sprinters sprinting for their entire career. We talked about it earlier, how a lot of these horses were trying a longer distance, trying the Triple Crown circuit, and then cutting back. This is a sprinter. He's known he was a sprinter. Asmussen has run him as a sprinter. Asmussen is very, very good at these elite sprinters. You've got Matole, some of the other ones that he's been very, very good at. So Valentine Candy by Justify, I think good shot here, 6-1. So going to try to catch a price here, fading the 2 favorites, hoping that will help me move on to the next leg. All right, let's move on to the next race. Race number 9, leg 2, the grade 1 Jaipur, going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Nice little turf sprint here. A huge field, too, especially with the also eligibles. Favoritisms on the number 8 Cogburn, who I do like here. 12 horses, 2-1. It's kind of hard to take that price from a straight win bet perspective, and especially as a single. I do think he is the best one here. I'm throwing in one other horse here that I do like as a little bit of a question mark, and that's the number 6 horse, Star of Mystery, for Charles Appleby, with Flavian Proud aboard. When Appleby brings over these international horses, it's always kind of a question mark, and I like that. I want to roll the dice with the unknown. A lot of these other horses aren't. They've got poor speed figures. They might be certain, like just track specific, like Arzak. It's a Keeneland specialist horse. Nice speed figure there. I don't think it'll translate outside. But Star of Mystery, shipping over from Dubai. It is a long ship. He's not just coming from the UK. He's not coming from France. He's coming from the other side of the world. So from his last race. But Charles Appleby is a 48% shipper to the US. He knows how to get these horses ready. He puts them in ambitious spots. I like his chances here. I'm going to include him, and then I'm going to include Cogburn, who I like at 2-1. I think Cogburn is setting himself up to be the elite sprinter, turf sprinter in this crop. Again, Steve Asmussen, Irad Ortiz, a really nice win on that Kentucky Derby undercard there. No one else in here is really jumping off the page from either a speed figures perspective or from a race style perspective. Mischief Magic might be one who also ran on that day. It was his second race. He lost to Cogburn. It was his second race after shipping in. So maybe he has a chance to improve, especially with William Buick riding. So Charles Appleby is putting his top rider on Mischief Magic instead of putting it on his other horse. So that might tell you something there. But I'm going to go with the unknown as opposed to the one with more data points, just as a little bit of a gamble. So those are the 2 that I'm going to be going with in the Jaipur. Going 2 deep, the 6 horse and the 7 horse, and then moving on from there. All right, moving on to leg 3, race number 10, the grade 1 Met Mile, going a mile on the dirt. Kind of an odd format. Usually at Belmont, this is a nice 1-turn mile coming out the backstretch. With it being at Saratoga, they are running out of that special chute there, so it's kind of a turn and a half, if you will. Only 6 horses entered, and I think that turn and a half might be one of the reasons we're not getting more in this field. We've got 2 really good horses here who seem to stand above the rest, and that's National Treasure and White Abarrio. I'm going to be keying in on National Treasure. I think his front-running style is going to help him out here. He won the Pegasus World Cup, so he already has a race in America this year that he's won very impressively. Senor Buscador almost came back to win that race, and Senor Buscador went on to win the Saudi Cup. So Senor Buscador beating him in America, no easy task. I like his odds. I think he's going to get better odds on him than White Abarrio. You see morning line here, 8-5 on National Treasure, 6-5 on White Abarrio. Who knows how close that actually is? I think Baffert will take a lot of money here. I just trust National Treasure's consistent performance here more than White Abarrio's kind of hot and then cold. White Abarrio did have that super impressive performance at Saratoga last year in the Whitney. Had a 107 Brisnet, won by 6 lengths. Loves the Saratoga track, clearly. But coming off of that Saudi Cup where he got 10th place, beaten really bad, just didn't fire at all. First race back, going not quite 2 turns. I don't think it's going to be his best performance. We'll see. I think it is a 2-horse race, but I think National Treasure is going to be able to set his own pace and have more going for him at the end. So I want to go ahead and single National Treasure and move on from there. Moving on to leg number 4, race 11, the Grade 1 Manhattan, going 1 mile 3/16 on the turf. For 4-year-olds and up. This is a race that I am super excited for. And that's because I am fishing for prices here. I've got 4 horses here, and 3 of them are 15-1, 15-1, and 20-1, and I love it. I'm fading Chad Brown here. His 2 horses in this race aren't that impressive to me. I mean, I'm very busy. Ran in the Turf Classic and got just destroyed. And it's 9-2 morning line. It's going to take a ton of money here. I'm just not impressed at all by I'm very busy. He's going to be dead last as well. Just can't stomach the price on him here. So completely fading I'm very busy. And then the horse that won that race, Program Trading, the number 5 horse, the other Chad Brown, got a 92 Brisnet in that win. A 92 is just horrible compared to the rest of this field. And he won it by a head. He was close to the front. They went very, very slow that race. It's just, that was his first race back off of layoff. So yes, he's eligible to improve. That was his first race as a 4-year-old, and he won it, which was, great for him. But short price, 5-2, with horses who are putting up better speed figures, who have better pedigree, who fit the style of race a little bit better. My top choice here, the number 9 horse is the only short price horse that I'm including. And again, Charles Appleby, taking an international shipper, sending him here, coming from Dubai, was winning group races over in Dubai, won a Group 1, won a Group 2, got 4th in another Group 1 in the Dubai turf. This is a horse that's running against the best in the world. And now he's shipping over here running against horses that can barely break into the 90s for speed figures. So I think this horse has a huge chance here. I love Measured Time as the top choice. Almost a single, but I'm going to be including some bombs down at the bottom. The first bomb I'm going to be including is the number 2 horse, Ohana Honor, for Shug McGahee with Kendrick Carmouche. Got 2nd place in that Man of War at Aqueduct back in May. 97 Brisnet speed figure that day, so 5 points faster than what Program Trading got in his win. Had a nice little race there, progressed well through the track, sat 4th, moved up all the way, got up to 2nd. Well beaten by Silver Knot, who's also very, very good, but nothing to take away from that loss. I think he's got a good shot here. He's going to be mid-pack. He's going to be in a better shot to make a move than some of these other deep closers. The next horse I want to include is the number 3 horse, Cortez, for Christophe Clement and Joel Rosario. That same race, the Man of War, got a 91 Brisnet, so even beaten 5th by 10 lengths. Still a good speed figure relative to some of these other horses. But if you draw a line through that one and you go back to March, his first race in America, the Pan American, 101 Brisnet speed figure, won by a nose, came from way back, was able to catch him at the wire going 1.5 miles. might not appreciate the shortening up in distance, but 20-1, you're getting a horse that's had success here. 2 races in America, should be used to it by now, has had success overseas in France. I like his odds here at 20-1. I'm going to include him for sure. He's got the pedigree. He's got the history and success to do it. So Cortez at 20-1. I also love. And then the number 4 horse, Strong Quality. He's going to be my front runner. There's only 2 horses in this race that even look to be even anywhere close to the lead, and that's Strong Quality and Nation's Pride. I'm not going with Nation's Pride, but I am going with Strong Quality, who looks to be the pure front runner in this race. If he can just settle him down and go, 49 or 50 at the half, he's going to have a ton of energy. Those horses are going to be close, but he's going to be in the front. He's going to have all that energy to take it all the way home. He went gate to wire his last race in the Knicks Go. 2 back at Fairgrounds. Tried to go gate to wire. Kind of ran out of juice there at Fairgrounds, but that was on a good track. Going a mile and an eighth. So who knows? Could run out of juice. They went a little bit faster that day. They went 47 for the half. If he can slow it down, being the only pace in this race, I think he'll be able to go gate to wire here. And at 15-1, definitely one I want to be including here. So looking at measured time as my kind of single or top choice here, and then going for 3 longer shot bombs to come in and hopefully get me a price here as we go into the Belmont. Let's go into leg 5, race number 12, the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes, going 1.25 miles on the dirt for 3-year-olds, 3rd leg of the Triple Crown. We've got your Derby winner in Mystic Dan running back here. You've got your Preakness winner in Seize the Gray running back here. You've got your morning line favorite in Sierra Leone. And I am not going with any of them. I'm going to go with 2 horses here. My top choice in this race is going to be the number 10 horse, Mind Frame. Super impressed by this horse's 2 starts so far. Loved his maiden on debut. Extremely well. Ran extremely well. I think it was 105 Beyer. Let's see what his Brisnet was. 106 Brisnet. 97 Brisnet in his allowance race. That allowance is essentially a paid workout. He won it by 7.5 lengths. Still pulling away at the end. They let him get away with really just ridiculous fractions up front. But even then, he had a ton of energy. No one was able to close into him. He's not going to get that today. He's going to have to work for it. But he's by Constitution. Another one of my favorite horses of all time is Tis the Law, who is by Constitution, who won his Travers Stakes really impressively. He also won the Belmont Stakes really impressively. So a horse that won the Travers and the Belmont, now you basically have the Travers acting as a Belmont. So Mind Frame by Constitution. 3rd start of his career, going from maiden to allowance straight into a Triple Crown Grade 1. Love the confidence here. Love the confidence by Rapola here. So Rapola had Fierceness, who was your Derby favorite, Ears Cup Juvenile winner, was training okay, not injured. They're pointing him to the Haskell instead. I think what that tells me is that Mind Frame is training so well that they're not going to risk Fierceness running against him and either ruining his race or Fierceness wasting a race where he knows he's going to lose. Point Fierceness to the Haskell and running down there. Keep Mind Frame here at Saratoga, run him in the Belmont, run him in the Travers, and just let him dominate this New York circuit. So Rapola's got a lot of confidence. Pletcher's got a lot of confidence. I've got a lot of confidence. Let's get Mind Frame home as my top choice here. The other horse I want to include, just as kind of a lottery ticket, is the number 6 horse, Dornoch. This horse had a lot of potential early in the season. Gulf Street Park and the Fountain of Youth had a nice little win there, going gate to wire. Came back in that bluegrass, and it seemed like, from what I heard, they were trying to teach him to sit off the pace instead of going gate to wire. And it just didn't work for him. He wasn't in the spot he wanted to be. Finished well beaten 4th. Then he came back in the Derby and just was not involved at all. Just broke poorly, was shuffled back, checked hard, and just wasn't a factor. Took some time off, regrouped. Now he's getting a smaller field. There's going to be about 3 horses out towards the front. Seize the Gray is going to go to the front. Mind Frame should be close to the front. Dornoch could be on the front. Him and Seize the Gray could lock up for the lead and have more of a race that's suited to his style. And that price is going to float up. I think he's going to be higher than that, maybe 20-1. And by the time this goes off, people are against him after those last 2 races. So I'm willing to take a shot with him. The way his style works, I want a little piece of him if it's going to happen. So Mind Frame up top. Dornoff is my second choice. I think Seize the Gray, Mystic Danderbolt is very, very good. I think the conditioning is going to catch up to them running all these races back to back to back. And then Sierra Leone, I love 9 to 5. I thought about it, but I just don't love Sierra Leone enough to just stone cold single him. And I think that's the only way I could have done him here is singling him to finish the sequence. So I'm going to go against him. Might play some saver exactas with him. I think he's going to be picking up pieces there at the end to get third or set. So here's my ticket. In race 8, we're going 2, 3, 4, 9. Race 9 going 6, 8. Race 10 going 2. Race 11 going 2, 3, 4, 9. Race 12 going 6, 10. Total cost $32 for your 50-cent base ticket. So that's it, everyone. Good luck at the Belmont at Saratoga. Make sure to follow along at Twitter at Trust the Profits. Make sure to follow me at Horse Guy Mike. Make sure to go to SureBet Coffee. Use our promo code to get 20% off that coffee. Drink your SureBet coffee this weekend so you can stay awake for our big card of graded stakes races. Best of luck, everyone. Take care.